Welcome to this quick tutorial demonstrating how to add an animated FBX into a scene with an OMS player and how to use the Unity timeline to ensure synced playback. Synced animation allows traditional keyframed animation to run in lockstep with an OMS capture. We will be taking a punching bag, animated and exported from Maya, and configuring playback so that the keyframed animation remains synced with the OMS playback, which will be playing a captured volumetric performance of a kickboxer. Basic familiarity with animation in Unity and the OMS player is expected for this tutorial. Included with the tutorial is an FBX asset exported from Maya containing an animated punching bag and its accompanying texture, as well as a volumetric capture of our kickboxer punching and kicking the bag in OMS and MP4 format. Also included will be the standard HoloSuite Unity package containing the OMS player's associated scripts and a Unity package with a completed setup you can use for reference. We'll start with a new project. Once that's loaded, we can import the OMS Player Unity 2020.4 package included in the training materials or found in your HoloSuite download. We'll go to Assets, Import Package, and select the package. First, we'll create an OMS player. If you're unfamiliar with basic OMS player setup, please refer to the OMS Playback in Unity tutorial that is linked in the video description. With the OMS player setup, we will start by importing our animated object into the project. First, we'll create a folder to organize all of our assets required for the animation playback. Then click and drag the animated punching bag FBX and the punching bag texture located in the animated assets folder into the project window. For the purposes of this clip, we've decided to make the OMS loop. So we'll ensure that the anim clip imported with the FBX is set to looping. We're going to set up this scene with unlit materials. So we'll disable the materials that import automatically with the FBX and create our own material. We'll create a new material with the unlit texture shader and set the punching bag texture as the material's texture. We'll name this material punching bag _ mat. Next, we'll create an animator controller for the punching bag. Then, with the animator window open, we'll select the anim clip from the project window and bring it into the animation graph. This should enable automatic playback. Next, we'll bring the punching bag object into the hierarchy. This model is scaled to fit our volumetric capture, so ensure that the scale of the FBX is set to 1. Then we'll add the animator controller to the animated FBX and apply the punching bag material to the FBX's mesh. Now we need to create a game object to hold the timeline for synced playback. We'll create an empty game object in the hierarchy we will use to create a timeline that will hold the animation clip. We'll name it OMS Timeline. With this object selected in the Timeline tab of the editor, create a new timeline. We'll name ours OMS Timeline. We can delete the track that gets created automatically in the timeline. Next, we'll select Animated Punching Bag from the hierarchy and drag it into the timeline, creating an animation track. Then, from the project window, we'll bring the punching bag's anim clip into the timeline, adjusting it so it starts on frame 0. Next, we'll configure our OMS player. First, we want to ensure our baked animation frame stays consistent to the OMS. We'll enable Drive Timeline under Timeline and Sync. Then we'll drag the OMS Timeline game object from the hierarchy into the timeline field so that the OMS controls the playback timing of the animation clip we added to the timeline. By completing these steps, we'll ensure that the frame rate of the animation imported from Maya stays synced during playback. Finally, we'll configure our OMS player with our clip. After adding the kickboxer's OMS and MP4 to the streaming assets folder, we'll change the clip size field in our OMS player to 1, and in the resultant element 0 tab, set the OMS file name and video file name to the name of the OMS and MP4. kickboxer.oms and kickboxer.mp4 respectively. Everything is configured for playback now. Hit play and you can see the animation plays in sync with the volumetric capture. Thank you for watching this quick tutorial on syncing playback with OMS players and animated assets in Unity.